First thing you noticed there? On the box score, Grant Siegel came in and got one huge out. That's the first thing I noticed. Ellis Garcia missed the bunt twice and then hit a 3-run homer. We're playing for one there, and we end up with 3. That's a huge play in the game. And once again, we're down in the bullpen. Aiden Major did the same thing last Saturday in Stillwater, came in and as a reliever and just finished the game. You know, we prepared him as a starter this year, and he was a weekend starter until the season started. We had to move some things around, but he's throwing really well right now. And it's just great to have a guy like that in the middle game of the series, so you don't have to run Carlson Reed out there. So now he'll be fresh tomorrow. We still have Hageman, so we got a pretty good stable of arms left in this series.
What magical words of encouragement did you give Ellis after those 2 bunt attempts?
You know, he's a young kid, and after the 2 bunt attempts and the count was 0-2, you just see in his eyes that he was so disappointed that he didn't get the bunt down. So I had to tell him, just relax, man. Just you're in the hole. You got an 0-2 count. You have to relax. You're a great hitter with 2 strikes. Don't worry about the bunts. You can't worry about the bunts. They're ancient history. You gotta be a really good hitter right now. And fortunately, he battled. He battled back to 2-2, I think, and got a good pitch to hit. So these little boys growing up right in front of my very eyes.
For a guy who's used to starting, what can you say about Siegel's ability to come in there with traffic on the bases?
You know, we got a good team, man. That's what. If you have a good team, guys will do whatever they have to do in order for the Mountaineers to win the game. And you know, I think that's now we're maybe 3-1 without JJ in the lineup. So that's the sign of a good team. It's a good team when Grant Siegel comes in relief against Pitt and pitches really well. Comes in today and just gets a huge out after being a weekend starter and losing that role. Most people would just, you know, get bitter and butthurt and all the terms you know, but he hasn't. He's still willing to do whatever he can do to help the team win, and that was the difference in the game. Yale didn't throw great, but he struck out Taylor before that, and we wanted Fontenelle to hit from the left side, so I didn't want Yale facing Fontenelle from the right side, so here we go. Grant Siegel's been in that moment before and just got a huge out for us.
Coach, on that note, having a deep lineup, the bottom of your lineup 2 days in a row has kind of kick-started rallies for you, especially without JJ. How big have they been and continue to be going forward?
I mean, unbelievable. You know, when you're in our dugout and you see the bottom of their lineup come up, you just human nature is that the 7, 8, 9 hole hitters aren't as good as the first 6. So you feel like it's going to be an easier inning at the bottom of the lineup. And if they feel that way about our lineup, you know, yesterday Hussey in the 7 hole goes bunt base hit, Salve in the 8 hole gets a walk, and the 9 hole guy hits a 3-run homer. So our bottom of the lineup is really producing, and Tucker's doing what he does at the top of the lineup. So it's just you could put 9 names in a hat and pull them out one at a time and rate the lineup. They're all equally as valuable as everybody else.
You used the word losing to describe Aiden, you know, getting out of that starting role, but that, I'm sure that's not the way you viewed it, and that's not the way that you sold it to him. Did you talk to, you know, him about that and say, hey, this is not a demotion, this is how you are helping this team?
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, we talk about it at the beginning of the year. The lineup at the beginning of the year is never going to be the same as it is at the end. The rotation at the beginning of the year is never going to be the same. You use those first 20 games to figure out what the pieces are, and we didn't even know Carlson Reed was the closer. We didn't go into the season with him as the closer. So he just kind of gravitated toward that position because he was enjoying the moment. He was pitching really well in the moment, so he just kind of gravitated toward that role. And now Major has gravitated toward that role, and maybe Grant Siegel has gravitated toward that role. Tucker's never been the leadoff hitter in this program, and he's been here for 9 years. He's never been the leadoff hitter, but now he's a really good one. And when JJ comes back in the lineup, Tucker's probably still going to be the leadoff hitter. So he's been that good. So, yeah, I just can't say enough about what our team is doing right now.
And Sam got it yesterday. Ellis gets it today. From your perspective, what's the story on the pretzels? The pretzel chain.
I don't pay attention to that stuff. I see them in there, and somebody said something about it, but I don't know. The games that they want to play in the dugout, if they have fun playing the game, I'm all about it. And the fans, if they want to stack cups up there like they did yesterday, if that's what makes them have fun, then I'm all about it. If you live in this community and haven't seen our team play yet, you have no idea what you're missing. It's a great atmosphere. It's a fun team to watch. We've gotten to sing Country Roads a lot this year. It's just look, there's traffic out there right now. Have you ever seen traffic at a West Virginia baseball game? This community is really rallying behind our team right now, and it's really helping us win.
Coach, if my math is correct, which it might not be. I think you guys took over first place in the Big 12 with this win here today. I know it's early in the season, but to be on the top of the Big 12 standings at this point, what's that mean to the program?
It's not that early in the season. We're at the midway point, and it doesn't matter where you're at midway during the season, but it's better to be in first than last. I do know that at this point in the season. So, if you get caught up in how good you are and what you're doing, overconfidence is the number one reason you get complacent. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go into every game like we're the underdog because traditionally speaking, TCU's been to Omaha 100 times and we haven't. So traditionally speaking, we are the underdog in this series. So it doesn't matter if you win the first two, people still think that that's a better program than we have. So we'll play with that chip on our shoulder and come out and have a good game tomorrow.
How do you carry that underdog mentality from game to game when you keep stacking up wins and when people look at you up high in the standings?
You got to keep reminding them. Got to keep reminding people, that nationally our program hasn't got a ton of respect, we're always picked 7th or 8th in the league in the preseason poll, no matter how good we think we are. Nationally, we're always fighting for that respect. So that serves to put a chip on your shoulder. And the fact that group didn't let us in the postseason last year, we remember that. We remember that. So you can't leave anything to chance. Never leave it in the hands of the judges. So as long as we continue to play with a chip on our shoulder, hopefully we'll still keep winning some games.